In this tutorial, we're going to look at one more important element in accessibility. We're going to look at color contrast. So here we have a document pulled up, and I'm going to go over in my review tab and open my accessibility tool set. And it's got some issues, but what I want to focus on here is this one appearing under the warnings. Remember, warnings are things that the system doesn't necessarily know are problems and wants you to manually check on to see if it is an actual problem and correct it. It says hard to read text contrast, one item. And if I open it up, need to add program rubric start. So if I click it, it highlighted this piece of text here. Need to add each program rubric starting here. So color contrast is basically an issue where the contrast between two different colors, if there isn't enough contrast between the colors, the content can be very difficult or impossible to see for people with vision issues or color blindness. So we want to keep a certain level of contrast so that those people can get that content as well. So in this case, Word is skeptical of the color contrast needs of this line of text. Now, every time I've had it report a color contrast issue, it actually turned out to be a real issue. So I tend to trust it. And I would say you can trust it too, but you may want to manually test it. If you would like to test it, I've included a link to download an application called Color Contrast Analyzer. It is free and it's very simple to use. And I'll demonstrate it now. I'm going to click outside the text so we have it just normally there. And if I open Color Contrast Analyzer, you'll see it has a number of panes. It has a foreground color pane. The foreground color would be the in front color, if you will. With text on a page, that would be the color of the text. The background color, that would be, in this case, the page itself, the white. It'll give a sample preview showing the contrast. And we have the results down here that basically tell us whether it passes all of the contrast needs to meet accessibility. So I'm going to click the eyedropper here on foreground color. And you see it opens sort of a large disk window, magnifying wherever you overlay it. And I'm going to move over here to the text. You can see there's a little square in the center. That's the sampling tool, if you will. And I'm going to left click in that red. Okay. And I'm going to take the other eyedropper because it is white, but the page may be a different white than the background color white is showing there, if it makes sense. So I can come out over here and just click. The sample preview kind of gives an example text showing contrast, and we can see that it does fail a number of contrast necessities. Word was right here, so we probably need to make this a different color. To do that, I can simply highlight that text, come on the Home tab, and I've got my text color tool here, open it up. And depending on what you're trying to do aesthetically with your document, you could, of course, select all sorts of other colors to test in relation to this. In this case, this is a text on white page, and there is no greater contrast than black text on white. So I'll go ahead and set it to black, and you'll see that that warning disappears. So this red looks like it is used throughout the document. And it didn't particularly have any issue with the Honors College statements throughout. But just to be safe, you may want to select that text. In this case, it seems to be in a heading. And go on Home tab. Change it to black. And leave it as bold if you wanted to. It may be an issue, it may not. But we know that that color on white doesn't quite meet the standards. So it would be a safe bet to go ahead and go through and change that to that. You might find that you want it to stay another color, say a real dark blue might work there instead. But either way, we want to have it pass color contrast because then we know we're doing the utmost to help our readers who have color blindness and visual issues.